with us today because he has really taken an amazing path in bringing a lot of the ancient knowledge into the future and really simplifying these concepts that have taken entire lifetimes. It has taken monks entire lifetimes to really do what I believe Bruno can sum up in a couple minute video. So I'm so excited for a whole hour-long lecture of Bruno's work. So everybody, without further ado, I'm going to jump off. And Bruno, so glad to have you, and I can't wait for this.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thanks for the great introduction. Very excited to talk about definitely one of my favorite topics ever. I made a little presentation. Hopefully you guys can see everything and still hear me. So today we're going to talk about the mind, consciousness, and I really want to show you what it means to have a mind, what it means to be conscious, and the absolute miracle that it is that we even have one, that we exist as conscious beings with minds. But firstly, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I know you guys already kind of know me, at least some of you, but I want to, I guess, introduce myself a bit further. So first of all, as you can probably tell from my videos, I identify as a truth seeker. I want to understand the nature of reality. I mean, we all woke up one day existing in this strange realm, this physical world. And I don't know, I'm one of those people that was just so struck by the reality of it all. I was just so full of wonder. And I wanted to understand, what is this reality that I exist in? Why do I exist? What is my existence? And that kind of led me into philosophy, actually. And right now I'm 22. I'm a UD undergrad at the Philosophy of Delaware, studying philosophy, and some of my favorite topics in there are the philosophy of mind, which talks about consciousness, also the philosophy of religion, which talks about basically different spiritual traditions and try to approach it through a philosophical lens. And obviously, I'm also a content creator. So far, 1.5 mil. Hopefully, we'll keep growing. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, you guys also identify as truth seekers. I know a lot of people that have interest for these topics, whether it be spirituality or life after death or consciousness or God. We all just have a deep sense of wanting to understand the world, existence. And I'm just glad that you're all part of this journey with me. So my agenda for this talk or this presentation is just to show you what the mind is, what I'm going to show you is pretty much like 5 features of the mind that I've identified. And the reason for this is because I think knowing this can help you appreciate what the mind actually is, and the fact of existence is it's absolutely incredible when you know what you are and what it means to be. It's like every day you experience so much gratitude, and hopefully by the end of this talk, after knowing what the mind is, you'll be able to experience that as well. And just some clarification, you guys can ask any questions you want right now, but later on, because I think the presentation will not take up that full 75 minutes, we'll also do a Q&A. And I'll also ask you some questions during the talk, so you can give me your input on what you think the mind is as well. And in terms of time, like I said, 75 minutes. But without further ado, we can get started. So I want to start off with this little story by a very famous writer named David Foster Wallace. It goes a bit like this. There is 2 fish swimming in the ocean, 2 young fish, and they encounter an older fish swimming in the ocean as well. The older fish tells them, "Morning, boys. How's the water?" The 2 younger fish look at each other pretty confused, and they just keep swimming. And then later on, one of them says to the other fish, "What the hell is water?" And the point of this story, according to David Foster Wallace, is to show you that the most obvious and fundamental realities are often the ones that are hardest to see and talk about. And I think this is true most of all for the mind, for consciousness, the psyche. I mean, you would not be here if you didn't want to understand the mind, but yet it's the hardest thing to put into words or to even understand what it is, because it's what we are. It's all that we are. It's all that we know. You, like those fish, are swimming in water. And yet you're still here trying to understand what the mind is, because it's so fundamental and so obvious that it's still very hard to just see it, even though it's right here all the time. And I mean, it is the most fundamental fact of life, because it is the fact that we experience life in the first place, that we exist as conscious entities that can experience it.